So a lot of the time, people like to ask me how my channel got any amount of subscribers. How did you get to 30,000+ subscribers? How did you get to 20+, 10+? How did you get to 5,000? How did you get to 2,000? How did you get to 1,000? Where did you get where you are today? What got you there? Was it VRChat? Was it your reviews before VRChat? These days, people don't even realize I made reviews before VRChat. Did it have to do with your Twitch streams? Did you buy the subs? And there's no real simple answer unless I know what someone deems as being big. What do you mean by a certain amount of subscribers? Which amount do you want to know about? Before I had ever started VRChat, the channel already had about 200 and something subscribers. My most popular video on the channel had a little over 1,000 views. It was a review for, honestly, I could not tell you which game at this point. I made constant Let's Plays, 5 to 7 videos a week depending on the time, 2 reviews a week, 5 Let's Plays a week. It was insane. I had a For Honor playthrough series, we had Arma 3 videos, we had Dark Souls 3 videos, we had so much stuff, and those videos actually don't even get any attention even today, even with all the new viewers. They're still there though. If you ever want to check them out, you can. But the first real spike did not come the day I uploaded the first VRChat video. It did not come after the first 5 VRChat videos. The first day that I uploaded a VRChat video, it got 15 views in that day, and me and Ralph, the co-owners of the channel at the time, and still now, even though he's not really as active currently, we were just mind-boggled. That was insane to us. 15 views on a Let's Play in a whole day? That's nuts. That might not seem nuts to everybody, but when you're getting started and you've been doing this for like 11 months almost, and your Let's Plays, they get 15 views total if you're lucky. 15 views in a day, that's pretty crazy. But it didn't stop there. As I started posting more and more VRChat videos, those numbers started going up and up and up until eventually they got into the hundreds. And that was nuts. Absolutely nuts to me. But I had yet to have a video that crossed 1,000 views. It had just never happened. The short way to answer how that happened would be, oh god, I don't know, there's actually so many ways to answer this. I mean, dumb luck, Matsix, SEO, I don't know how to explain it really. It takes a little more in-depth explanation, so that's what this video is going to be about. So I first met Matsix when I was in the old anime girl, yellow hair, I think it's Rin, with the hoodie on, that Butterman's known for using, that Lightningsworth is known for using. And I found Matsix in a random world. I had no idea who he was, and he runs up to me and he tries feeding me an apple. But I notice he's not putting it in my mouth. See, now that's the kind of shit I say that gets taken out of context. I notice he's not trying to feed me the apple via this area, but he is instead taking the apple and putting it there, or down there. And I say, that's not my mouth. And he goes, yeah, it is. And I'm like, what do you see me as right now? Turns out, and this is where I learned that about the avatar ID glitch back at the time, that avatar was originally supposed to be Winnie the Pooh. It was just bugged, and because Matsix hadn't cleared his cache in about a month or so or more, he saw me as Winnie the Pooh. So I'm like way down there in height, but I see myself being like up here, and that made for a big moment of confusion. I laughed my ass off, ran away into a corner, and then I think at that point I just started playing as Unity-chan all the time because I didn't want to be accidentally seen as Winnie the Pooh, but I still wanted to be an avatar that someone would interact with, and at the time nobody interacted with you very much if you were not some form of anime girl. But now the second time I met Matsix and actually decided to post a video on it, which I didn't do originally, but we'll get to that. It was in the Pug, when everyone still hung out at the Pug after hanging out at the Bar Zero started becoming rarer and rarer. Matsix was went up on a stage, started dancing with the same person that I had recorded doing those little dance animations in that avatar in my video that was literally called VRChat Dancing Animations. That for some reason I think got thousands of views eventually. I remember you from Bar Zero.
It's a duet. You gotta sing with her.
Yeah, sing. Sing.
As I say, as I fall up the stairs.
Oh my sweet Jesus.
Okay, she's just gonna dance.
Oh, look at those moves.
Everybody but him at the time that was there pretty much knew who he was. I had no idea aside from that previous encounter. So he gets up there, he starts dabbing and dancing, and eventually the song switches and we get someone else up there that has the same model as the person that's doing the dance animations, and even another person. We get them up there. We just try to get every single person dancing and up there, and it just became a thing. Do you do these in the same order every day? Because this is the order you did them in last time.
What the?
Oh, there's another one!
What?
There's another one! Alright, now we got 3. We got 3.
Matsix is... What? There's...
Alright, there's a 4th one!
Get up there,
Get up on the
Go, get on the stage! Go!
Gotta get up there.
Just dance them up.
You dance, all of them. People started suggesting some songs, and Matsix had these little mute interactive responses, which is kind of out of place seeing as how much I already heard him speak. Which, by the way, he did speak a lot this day and every other time I met him for like the first month or 2 that I knew him.
Matsix, can you do the floss dance?
2014.
You know,
I don't know what
floss
that is.
dance.
Oh, that's like a pillhead turn.
Like, I would show it to you.
Does that hurt? How are you doing that? In this video, I actually had to cut out him speaking a lot. I didn't have to. I didn't even know him. Like, I chose to cut it out because after this day, I did some research into his name, and that's when I found out he was in a bunch of videos. And seeing he played a mute, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I can use this, preserve his character, and I'll just leave him as a mute. Let's just cut out everything of him talking and kind of help establish this character. He had just such an interactive mute personality, and the only person I knew at the time that did that was Richie. So I remember saying, is this another Richie? Yeah, that's
You
horrifying.
swing your left arm.
Yeah, that's what she's going for.
Like, you swing your
Oh,
left
dear.
arm in front of you.
Is this another
like your
Richie?
front-
To which someone later in the comments that is totally not biased in any way actually commented responding, Matsix isn't another Richie, Richie's another Matsix. It's obnoxious considering they both started doing their antics literally the same week. Also, fun fact, today was the start of oh god, a bunch of just terrible audio quality videos of mine. Like, my mic quality from this point on was awful, because I'm sure you'll notice even today when I talk in my mic, there's some popping sound effects when I go anytime air gets into the mic, basically. And to try to fix that, I took the little screen cleaner thing that came with the Vive, and I cut it up with some scissors and I taped it over the mic to try to stop the popping from happening, and it worked. But it made my mic sound god-awful, and eventually I just chose to get rid of this because it just sounded too bad. But up until this point in the video, I mean, we're already technically halfway through the video with everything I've said, and most of what I've said isn't even about the video. Just, Matsix dancing, and that's about it. It wasn't an entertaining video, and that's the reason why I actually ended up deleting the footage. But again, we're getting to that. Eventually, off the stage, Matsix decides to start acting like apparently it was normal for Matsix to act, going around and killing people and messing with them with a sword, kind of like Richie did with his guns.
The polygon that makes
you got a sword in you!
Danger. I'm a member of the Unity Alliance!
Brave Wolf!
The core
Oh,
poly.
Jesus Christ! You had a sword in you!
Whoa.
Who said that?
Did you just
What
try
the
to
fuck?
stab me,
Who
Matsix?
said
Dude, it was in your head!
Matsix tries to stab everyone. That's just
Oh,
what they do.
that's fine. You can stab her, but I mean me?
What do you think you're doing with that in here? That's not allowed.
you killed her!
Whoa.
What are you doing?
Whoa.
Oh, shit!
Whoa.
Have a good night, man.
Oh wait, it's Brave Wolf.
Someone eventually showed up and said that it turned him on or something, which then led to Matsix acting even more like Matsix. And that was supposed to be some inside joke or whatever related to Raging Voice, who people from you, if you know anything about older VRChat history, you might know him better as the guy that started the Kana gang and then got banned 30 fucking times.
Yo, let's talk it out.
Brave.
Oh. Oh.
Over there? That's really turning me on.
What?
Yep, yep.
Same.
You don't understand. It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. You don't know raging voice.
Oh! You're dead. You're dead.
Oh!
You're dead. Just just sit down. You're dead. Good night. Unfortunately, at the time, I had phantom sense from everything. I freaked out at everything I saw. That was part of the reason why people liked watching me. But of course, that then drew the attention of Matsix, who, upon messing with other people, would also mess with me just because I was giving, I think, the best reaction at the time. At one point, he even starts just acting super fucking perverted, starts like petting someone's like boob or something. Are you patting her breasts?
Maybe it's because it bugs sometimes.
What are you?
Down, it's like it's off.
What are you?
Oh,
It is a little, but
yeah, that doesn't work, man.
why?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
there it is. There it is.
What?
There it is. You're doing stand up now.
Do you need more ideas?
Matt, wait, what?
More
Yo,
weapons?
Fergus, if you are you on
grenade
their
trick's pretty
VRChat
cool.
Discord? Are you on their Discord?
Oh,
If you go to their
literally, like watching it, it almost becomes difficult for me to, in that moment, tell the difference between Matt 6 and Matt 9 with how they were acting, which is funny because Matt 9 kind of started out with that character, but we'll get to that as well. The video ends with Matt 6 like staring me down because of the way I was reacting all night, and it just kind of fades out. No! Stop it! No, look at him again. Later, I don't know if it was later that night, day after, something like that, after learning all about who Matsix was, I was thinking, like all my videos, the way they were going so far, I watched the footage and it was just not entertaining. It wasn't entertaining to watch. And after posting it, even people at that time said to me, like mainly in private, this doesn't feel like one of your videos. This doesn't feel like something you'd put together. I was like, yeah, because it's not. Because what had actually happened was, after seeing that this just wasn't good footage, I just took it and I deleted it. But then after talking to people for a little bit, doing some more thinking, I came up with this idea and I realized something. I looked up all of the videos with Matsix and I noticed the SEO, the search engine optimization, and the branding in general for the word Matsix was almost non-existent. Now this struck me as a surprise because I think by the time I had actually posted this video, I had met Nags and become friends with him and talked to him a lot. And he even told me he used to work in like marketing or something, I think. So I was very surprised to see that someone that had worked in marketing and everyone else that did anything VRChat ever had not cashed in on this opportunity. There was no branding for the word Matsix. There was no branding anywhere at all. So I decided to just give it a shot. I was like, all right, for 1 minute, for one video, let me just take my quality level that I want to meet for my video and let me just push it aside. Let me just take this footage specifically because it has I sound like such a sellout right now, but this is what I did. Take all this footage just because it has Matsix, edit it down to the most interesting parts, and let me post it, and let me brand it with Matsix in every way that I can. The name in the title, in the description, in the tags, just the auto-generated captions, everything I could do. Just where I posted on social media, what keywords I posted it with, all these different things that made up SEO, the comments I responded to, what I responded with, literally anything that could affect SEO, I did, all based around the word Matsix, which I had already been doing with Richie, but I was like, okay, I'm curious how this will work with this person, since it seems like he generates so many views, and not even the marketing whiz himself, Nags, has cashed in on it. So I posted this video, and it got pretty good results. It got like hundreds of views, I think, in the first day. Although I think at the time I posted all my videos at like 3 in the morning, so I think I only ever got to see it go up to like 300 to 400, something like that, before I went to sleep. And by the time I woke up, it had passed 1,000 views, my first ever VRChat video to pass 1,000 views, and very quickly became the most popular video on my channel that very same day. Even just thinking back to it, you know, my perception of the numbers on YouTube has just changed so much since then. I don't remember exactly how many views it eventually got and sort of stopped out at. I want to say it was in the thousands. I don't know if it was at 10,000 or 20,000 yet. I don't think so. I don't think it got up to that. It eventually spiked later as well when it got related to videos like my Evolved Ant video and etc. And eventually got to where it is now at 40-something thousand views. But at the time, just getting the several thousand views it did was absolutely insane. I had like 300 subs at this point, if even. And as that video grew, my other VRChat videos grew and my sub count went up. And after, it was like 2 weeks into making VRChat videos, couple days after posting this video, we went from 230 subscribers to 1,000 plus. After about a month, we went up to 2,000 subscribers without any extra of my videos actually doing very well other than this one. And in another, even still relatively short amount of time, I became the second biggest person posting content for VRChat, because at the time there was only 4 people: Nags, me, Brian, and VRChat Moments. And then when I passed VRChat Moments, that was it. The only person left bigger than me was Nags. And at the time, I still didn't even, like, at the time of posting the video, I didn't know who he was. By the time I passed VRChat Moments, it was abundantly clear to me who he was, because we talked every day at that point. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the story. That's my first, I guess you could call it, a viral video. I don't know, like, by today's standards it doesn't count as viral. By today's standards it doesn't count as big. And compared to the biggest videos on my channel, it still doesn't count as big. 40,000 views, okay. One of them's at 300,000, another one's at 150,000, another's at 120,000. Like, it doesn't seem as big of a thing anymore, but it was this video. It was this video. And I used this video in the SEO to tie it into Richie, to then boost Richie as a branded name, get more views for videos related to Richie, and they started getting to the tens of thousands, more than that. I think one of those videos ended up getting about as many views as that video has right now, too. I still don't really know how I feel about having that video. I almost went back and deleted it several times, and the decision to not keep it deleted when I originally deleted all the footage related for it, that was a really last minute decision. If I waited another day to make that decision, that video never would have gotten posted, because I was actually clearing my recycle bin later that night because of all the footage I had stockpiled up from VRChat, and only having like a 1 terabyte hard drive at the time or some shit. And if not for that video, I don't know if I'd have 30,000 plus subscribers right now. I don't know how anything I did on the channel would have gone by then. I probably wouldn't have stopped making reviews for longer if VRChat never took off then. It might not have taken off at all, but being one of the only 4, my mind says, oh, it would have had to take off eventually to some extent, right? But it took off to the point where I had to stop making reviews, I had to stop making most other Let's Plays, and I just grinded out VRChat content like it was just nuts. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just call this video here pretty much. It's been a fun time talking about the past. This one was a lot easier to talk about than the last couple ones. That took a lot more organizing and planning, whereas this one, I think I just talked straight without even having to look at my notes that I made like I did for the other 2. I had to stop after every fucking sentence. The next one, I think, is going to be something like how I met Icrium or whatever. I know I've had requests for that. If you want to see any other topics in these videos as I'm moving down the line, let me know in the comments. If you want to hang out, we got a community server. Check the description. That's where you can see it. That's where you can talk to me directly. That's where you can join me in video games, join my friends in video games. You can join us on the streams. By the way, I stream. Twitch link is also in the description if you ever want to watch, or of course, see what games we're playing so that you can come and play with us. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, you want to see any other games? Let me know. You want to see another Q&A? It's been a while. Let me know. I don't fucking know. How are you liking this series? How's your day? What did you eat for breakfast? Blah. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Bye. But see you. Bye.